Hey everyone, recently I purchased the Dreamcast G1 ATA Adapter at Dragoncity, and after watching the videos on YouTube on how easy it was to solder all the parts together, I thought, well, it can't be that simple. So how about I just kick off this project as a mediocre soldering expert and see how simple it is to do, and record it so that you guys can learn from it as well. So first what I'm doing here is focusing my camera, and then I'm adding some flux to the solder pads of the PCB. And my dad taught me how to use a toothpick for that. So that's the tool that I'm using. It's cheap, it's effective, and the flux I just bought from AliExpress. Now here's the Dreamcast GD-ROM connector that was included in the package, and as you can see, these pins are a really fine pitch, and I'm also adding a bit of flux to these as well, just to make sure that they're nice and greasy. Alright, so luckily there's two pins at the bottom of this connector for easy placement. You can't really go wrong with that one. And I'm using a third-hand ancient soldering help to make sure that it's stable while I'm working on it. Now I bought some leaded solder paste off of AliExpress, but you can also buy it at Dragoncity. And this comes in a really handy syringe, and you have to be careful with applying pressure because, as you can see, I'm using way too much solder at my first attempt. A steady hand is really helpful during this exercise. So now the solder is applied and my soldering iron is all heated up. I'll clean the tip first and then start heating up that solder. Now in the original video I thought it was going way too fast, and I thought it can't be that easy, but I'm just gently touching the pins and making sure that the solder is flowing very nicely. And well, as you can see, I have a couple of pads that are interconnected, but it's not too difficult to remove the excess solder. But before I started that project, I never imagined that it would have been so simple to do so. So there you go, I'm just cleaning that up, making sure that all the pins are connected properly. And I'm not too happy with that extreme amount of solder there on top, so I'm going to get some braid and remove the excess. Just make sure that it's nice and heated, and it will just soak up all of the unnecessary tin. Now, as this is a leaded solder fluid, make sure that you're careful not to breathe in all the fumes. There's a reason why they stopped standardizing on leaded solder. So I'm just adding a little bit of flux, because I don't want it to have any cross connections, and I'm going to just let it flow one more time. And like I said before, this is really the first time that I'm trying this one out. And I'm just touching every single pin, making sure that they flow nicely. And I'm cleaning it on a pan brush. Yeah, there we go. Nice and shiny. So maybe this is a good idea to clean up all that flux. So I'm just putting some alcohol on a toothbrush and let's just clean those pins just a little bit. So pretty happy with how this turned out after my first attempt, and now it's probably time to get to the other side. So as I've tried to learn from the first attempt, I'm trying to use a little bit of less pressure and a little less solder in the process. And I'm quite happy with the amount that I've applied here. So let's just heat that up and see how this will work out. So with this amount there's a lot less bridging, and I don't think that I'm going to need some wick to remove it, but we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, so the excess solder just scrubs right off when you heat it up. Well, you know what they say, practice makes perfect. And touching them one by one again, and you can just see that tin heating up, glistening and cooling down again. And there we go, one finished G1 ATA adapter. I really enjoyed making this, I learned something, I hope you did as well. Thank you for watching.